Hi, I'm Amy, this is House of Nash Eats, and today we are making my best beef kebab marinade. Okay, so to make this beef marinade, it's super simple. We're just going to combine ingredients in a bowl. So I've got some soy sauce and some olive oil and some Worcestershire sauce. I can never say the word Worcestershire. Worcestershire sauce, that's sauce. And then it's a little bit of Dijon mustard, some brown sugar, some freshly minced garlic. You could use garlic powder too, but I really like the fresh garlic in this. Some black pepper, parsley, dried basil, and then the juice of about half of a lemon. And I just squeeze it like this with my hand under it to catch any seeds that fall out. And then whisk that together with a fork. Okay, and I'm gonna set this aside while I work on the meat. Okay, so this is a fantastic marinade for using with sirloin, which is a really lean cut of beef. It's not my favorite cut, generally speaking, because it's not as marbled as other cuts of beef, but that makes it great for marinating and grilling at high temperatures because it just tenderizes it a little bit and adds some flavor. So I've got some sirloin here, and I'm just going to cut it into chunks that are about an inch. And then I'm going to put all of my meat that has been cubed into about 1-inch square cubes into a reusable silicone bag. I love using these for marinating because they can just go in the dishwasher afterwards and I never have to worry about them leaking, and they just do a great job. I'm gonna fill that up. Okay, and then I'm going to take my marinade and pour most of it. Save a little bit for drizzling over the kebabs just before you put them on the grill. But put most of that marinade down in with your meat. And once you've got your meat in with your marinade, just squish it around a little bit so that the meat gets nice and coated everywhere. And then you're going to want to stick this in your fridge and let it marinate for anywhere from 1 to 6 hours. You could even put this in the freezer right now and freeze it and then thaw it in the fridge and use it later, so it's great for making things ahead. You could go up to a full 24 hours with this marinade. I wouldn't go any longer than that because of the lemon juice that's in the marinade, which adds some acidity. You don't want to break down the meat too much, but 1 to 6 hours is my sweet spot for marinating sirloin steak. And then we're going to make the kebabs. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part. We're going to assemble our kebabs, our skewers. So I've got today some mushrooms, some zucchini, green pepper, and red onion. I also sometimes like to use small potatoes that I parboil for a little bit in salted water, but I don't have any of those today, so this is what I'm working with. And I use some of my reserved marinade to just drizzle over some of the vegetables so that they all get coated with some of this delicious savory flavor as well. And then just to make it easier to make your skewers, I like to open up my meat and put it in a bowl that's a little easier to access, because this part can get messy. This is a really good part to have family help you with, kids if you have them. The skewers are kind of sharp, but if your kids are a little bit older, they love this job. So I've got some metal skewers. You can use wooden ones if you have wooden skewers. I recommend soaking them in water for about an hour first so they don't burn up on the grill. But I'm going to take my skewer and start out just going with some of my veggies and alternating with vegetables and meat. I love grilled onions on my kebabs. They have so much flavor. And I try to aim for 3 pieces of meat, 3 to 4 per skewer. Kind of also depends on how big your skewers are. And you can use other peppers if you don't like green peppers. You could use red or yellow peppers. I just love the flavor that I get from the green pepper when it contrasts with the kind of bold flavor of this marinade and the steak. So there's my skewer. I'm just gonna repeat this a bunch of times and then I'll throw it on a grill. Okay, my shish kebabs have rested for about 5 minutes now, so I think they should be cool enough for me to handle. So I'm going to take this one and I'm gonna get right to it and get some of the meat off of there. But the mushrooms are just like caramelized around the edges, so are the onions and the peppers. I love eating vegetables this way. They're just as good as the meat. Okay, and the meat should be just medium rare to medium inside. There's just a tiny bit of pink. Okay, that's so tender and juicy, and you get wonderful savory flavors from the ingredients in the marinade, like the soy sauce and the mustard and the garlic. It's super delicious. This is a great way to use an inexpensive cut of meat like sirloin and make it taste fabulous and more high-end. Plus they cook super fast on the grill in about 10 minutes. This is a great recipe. I hope you make it all summer long. If you like this recipe, be sure to like and subscribe to my channel and let me know what you want to grill this summer.